Hello and welcome to Philosophy 101. My name is Dr. Nick Nash. In this class, we are going to begin by talking about how to read philosophy. We're going to spend the next 10 weeks reading philosophy and learning how to do it. It's always a good place to start. Then we're going to quickly consider some important ideas in critical thinking. These two things together will constitute the first week of our class. Then we're going to spend the rest of our class first looking at some proofs for the existence of God. Then some important ideas in animal ethics. And then some various philosophical problems and dilemmas, just little things that you might come across that have their grounding in philosophy. And finally, in the last week, we're going to consider Descartes' first meditation and the beginning of the second, and we'll get to the very famous, I think, therefore I am. The plan for this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and introduce myself. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the value of philosophy in our world, and then talk about the environment that we want to create in our online classroom. A few details about me. I live in Pendleton with my wife Rachel, and we moved back to the area in December of 2017 after living away for about 15 years. In addition to teaching at BMCC, I also work for a company called Eastern Oregon Business Source, doing community and workforce development. I'm also on the board of the Umatilla County Special Library District, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to teach philosophy at BMCC. I honestly never believed that I would be able to teach in the town that I grew up in. It's very strange for someone trained in philosophy to be able to do that, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share with all of you things that I deeply, deeply love. A few more details about me. I was born and raised in Pendleton, and I graduated from Pendleton High School in 1998. If you're counting along at home, I just turned 40 this year. I moved around a lot after high school, and I dropped out of a bunch of different colleges. Many colleges on the West Coast I have dropped out of. In 2005, I ended up in Portland. It started to get my life back together. And then in 2006, I started back to school at Portland Community College. And I kept going to school for the next 11 years. So here I am with my wife after earning my bachelor's degree at Portland State University. There we are at summer graduation in the Park Blocks in 2011. I'm sure you all know where Portland is, but here is a map. And in 2013, I earned my master's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. There I am with my wife again in downtown Milwaukee at graduation. If you're not sure where Milwaukee, Wisconsin is, it's just north of Chicago in the great state of Wisconsin, right on the shore of Lake Michigan. A very fantastic place to live. And then in 2017, I earned my PhD from the University of Western Ontario in London, Ontario, Canada. And here I am standing outside of my office window in the sweet robes that you get when you finish your PhD. So if you're wondering where London, Ontario, Canada is, here it is. It's on this little tongue of Canada that sticks down into the United States. It's about 90 minutes from Detroit, 90 minutes from Buffalo. We lived there for about 5 years, and it was pretty cool. Certainly always something I'm interested in talking about. And just because she was in all the other pictures, here's my wife and I again, standing in front of the tower at Western University with the Canadian flag flying in the background. Now at this point, you may be saying, dude, who cares? I know you're qualified to teach my class. That's why you're teaching it. But the reason that I'm telling you these things about myself is because I just want to make the point, hey, I'm just a regular guy. But I had this crazy idea one day that I might actually be able to get a PhD in philosophy. I still remember it. I was sitting on my bed in my apartment in Portland, looking on my computer, and I realized that getting a PhD is something I could do. I'm a first-generation college student. No one else in my family even has a bachelor's degree. And so the idea of getting a PhD was crazy. However, I slowly over time put a plan in place, and I followed the plan, and I worked really hard and I got really lucky. But really, the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because I want to make the point that if I, just a regular kid from Pendleton, Oregon, right, can get a PhD, imagine all of the cool things that you all can do. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of them. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about philosophy in our world. So this is usually the part of the presentation where I talk for a while about how philosophy can help you find a good job. And although I still think that this is true, philosophy can also help us do something much more important in the version of the world that we're all currently living in. Philosophy gives us the tools to help make sense of the world that we live in a meaningful way, which certainly is something that I need right now, and I think that we all need it, and philosophy is great at doing this. Now more than ever, I think that philosophy can be something that adds tremendous value to our lives, and I'm excited to share this with all of you. Now, why is philosophy great? Well, one reason it's great is because it can be a lot of fun. In this class, we're going to have the opportunity to look at and carefully analyze a variety of different arguments. We'll get to practice assessing these arguments using careful reasoning. And then we'll have the opportunity to learn a bunch of rules that will help us be careful, critical thinkers, and have the opportunity to apply these rules to arguments that matter to us. And I think that this is going to be helpful. And this digital space will be a safe place to try out new ideas and to sometimes be wrong. All right? This class, this digital space that we're creating between all of us, is an environment where you can be safe sharing your ideas. Now, this is not to say that there are no wrong ideas, or to say that all ideas are equal or of equal quality. This isn't that kind of safe space, right? There are wrong ideas, right? And not all ideas are equal or of equal quality, which is to say some ideas are better than others. But instead, we want to create an environment where it's okay to share and evaluate our ideas. There can be many right ideas, and there can be many right answers. This is something sometimes that French fries students' brains. Maybe we're used to this idea that there's only one right answer to things. In philosophy class, I assure you that there can be many, many right answers. And in fact, two students can both give right answers that are in direct conflict with each other. But notice that this isn't the same as saying that every idea is right. I said this earlier. This is not to say that there are no wrong ideas. The flip side of this is to say that I'm also not saying that every idea is right. But it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to change your mind, and most importantly, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree with yourself and an earlier idea you had, and it's okay to disagree with your classmates. And this is something that can take a little bit of practice, but we're going to get to practice that here. And we're going to practice it in a safe and respectful environment. And finally, in case it comes up, what my views are on a topic, or what you think my views are on a topic, don't matter at all. It doesn't matter what I think. I treat everyone in the same way, even if I very, very strongly disagree with the things that they are saying. It is not my job to assess you in that way, right? So it doesn't matter what my views are on a topic or what you think that they may be. I want to hear what your views are. So, in conclusion, thank you for taking my class. I really do appreciate it. I think that we're going to have a great time. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help you along the way, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you have any questions, or if you just like to chat, please come by my weekly student hours that I'll be posting early next week anytime that you'd like. And if you ever want to meet me outside these times, please just contact me. My schedule is very flexible. And if you want to meet face-to-face through Zoom, I'm always happy to do so at a time that works for you. Otherwise, you can always email me at nnash@bluecc.edu or through Canvas. Thanks a lot, and I think we're going to have a great quarter.